Greetings to all fans of good movies. In this video, I will tell you about a 2021 American drama called Palmer. Eddie Palmer returns to his hometown after serving a long prison sentence. As he arrives at the doorstep, his grandmother warmly welcomes him. She's thrilled to have him back, having prepared everything he might need, including a room just for him.
You go on. Go get settled.
Okay.
Looking out the window, Eddie notices an unfamiliar woman and her child living in the trailer next door.
I'll be back in, I don't know, a couple of days.
During dinner, his grandmother fills him in on the new neighbors. The woman is nothing but trouble, and if it weren't for her little boy, she'd have kicked her out of the trailer long ago. After they eat, the caring grandmother offers some advice to her grandson. To adapt quickly, he should find a job. She also insists that attending the local church on Sundays is a must, and that feeling sorry for himself is the last thing he should do. Our character was released on parole, so he needs to check in with the police every 2 weeks and periodically take drug tests. Eddie spends the day job hunting and decides to stop by a bar in the evening to catch up with old friends.
When the fuck did you get out, man?
His friends have long since settled down, with one even joining the police force. Soon, the troublesome neighbor shows up at the bar and immediately starts flirting with Palmer. They spend a wild night together in the trailer. The next morning, Eddie awkwardly steps outside, unaware that his actions haven't gone unnoticed.
Eddie, wake up. We're going to be late for church.
Overcoming a hangover, Eddie has to take his grandmother to Sunday service. In the car, seated in the back, is Sam, the neighbor's son. On the way, Boy casually mentions that he saw Palmer sleeping with his mom last night, and neither of them were wearing pajamas or even underwear. Hearing this, the wise grandmother swiftly changes the subject. At church, everyone starts whispering as soon as they see Palmer. After the service, the police chief approaches him, advising him to stay out of trouble. Coles, our character's friend, feels embarrassed by his father's words, but Eddie takes it in stride.
There's something seriously wrong with that kid.
Returning home, Sam thanks the old lady, and also giving Palmer a hug before leaving. The next day, Vivian asks her grandson to go shopping, giving him some money and a shopping list. At the store, as Eddie reaches the checkout, he notices a note about hiring new employees. Counter girl offers him an application, but the approaching manager informs him that the position has already been filled. In this small town, everyone knows what Eddie Palmer did, making it hard for him to find work. Back at home, Grandma informs him that Sam will be staying with them for a while since his mother has taken off again. The boy behaves oddly, eagerly helping old lady with her makeup and constantly playing with his dolls.
You know you're a boy, right? Boys don't play with dolls.
Later, during dinner, Grandma asks Eddie to return all the change left over from the shopping. She suspects that he might have kept some of the money for himself. Eddie sharply reacts to the accusation, insisting she count the money again. The next day, Palmer arrives at the local school, where a janitor position is available. Initially, the principal is reluctant to hire our character due to his criminal record, but after hearing his story and consulting with the custodian, he decides to give Eddie a chance. That evening, during dinner, Sam reminds the grandma about apologizing. She recounts the money earlier. Following the boy's advice, Grandma apologizes to Eddie. Their conversation is interrupted by a phone call.
Got a job.
Good for you, Palmer.
Next day, the custodian gives Palmer an orientation, after which he begins his work. Later, he is asked to fix the air conditioning in Miss Maggie's classroom. She happens to be Sam's class teacher. The boy waves at Eddie, but he just walks by. At school, Sam's classmates frequently bully him because he's different. Palmer notices this but doesn't intervene. Our character's life gradually starts to improve. He has a job, attends church on Sundays, and is slowly becoming part of the community.
Hi, I'm Penelope. We fly together every day.
One morning, Palmer wakes up earlier than his grandmother. This has never happened before, so he rushes to her room. Upon entering, he finds that Vivian has passed away. During the funeral, Sam takes Eddie's hand, trying to comfort him. Our character struggles with this loss and ends up drinking heavily that evening.
Where are we going? Why'd I have to pack my bag?
Next day, Palmer brings Sam and his belongings to the police station, intending to hand him over to the authorities. A familiar officer suggests that he keep the boy until his mother returns, but Eddie insists that the boy is not his responsibility. Friend warns him that if he leaves Sam, the boy will end up in foster care. Palmer agrees and silently walks out of the station. As he reaches his car, he hesitates for a long time before deciding to drive away. In the next scene, Eddie and Sam are returning home together. This decision wasn't easy for our character, who has never had to take care of a child before. However, Sam is smart and independent, accustomed to this kind of life, and doesn't require much attention. One day after school, Miss Maggie drives Sam to Palmer's house. She stops by to check on the environment her student is living in. Satisfied that everything seems fine, Maggie leaves her phone number just in case and heads out.
Did you wash today?
Over time, Eddie and Sam begin to adjust to each other and start to get along better. They go to school together and attend town events. At a football game, they run into Maggie. She suggests taking Sam to a bowling alley over the weekend, but the boy doesn't want to go without Palmer. After some persuasion, Eddie agrees to join them. At the stadium, our character watches the game, while Sam is more interested in the cheerleaders' performance.
Be okay. I move on each and every day.
This weekend, whole company are having a great time together. While sitting at a table, the adults share their pasts. Maggie moved to this town after a failed marriage, and Palmer is honest about his prison sentence. They both find common ground, as they've each ended up in this town hoping for a fresh start. As time passes, our character starts stepping into the role of a father figure. He makes breakfast for Sam and keeps an eye on him at school. He also stops going to the bar in the evenings, instead setting an example by explaining that every bad action has its consequences. Soon, Sam's birthday arrives. Maggie helps organize the celebration. While cleaning up, she notices a pile of unopened letters and offers to help sort through them. Among them is a letter from a lawyer regarding Vivian's will. From a phone conversation, Palmer learns that their house is being put up for sale, with the proceeds going to the church's fund. He's also given 30 days to vacate the property after the sale is finalized.
These are her wishes?
I'm afraid so.
This unwelcome news throws our character off balance, which shows in his interactions with Sam. Halloween preparations are underway, and at the store, Sam spots a Princess Penelope costume from his favorite TV show. However, Palmer tries to persuade him to choose a pirate or prince costume instead. He explains that kids his age can be cruel and like to pick on those who are different. But Sam stands firm in his choice. At the checkout, a woman familiar with Vivian confronts Palmer, calling him a criminal and insisting he's not fit to look after a child. Sam stands up for the man, telling old lady to mind her own business.
I am calling child services.
Halloween arrives, and all the kids come to school in their holiday costumes. Sam's classmates immediately start teasing and mocking him. However, Miss Maggie, anticipating this, has dressed up as a man. She lightheartedly explains to the children that on Halloween, everyone can be whoever they want, and there's nothing strange about it. That evening, our characters go to Maggie's house for a Halloween dinner. While alone, Girl asks Eddie to tell her about his criminal record. Palmer explains that he used to play for his university's football team, but was expelled due to an injury. After returning home, he started spending a lot of time with friends. One night, they decided to rob mansion of the local rich man. The homeowner tried to fight back, but Eddie severely beat him, and then took full responsibility for the crime, sparing his friends from jail time. Back at the house, the couple start kissing and spend the night together while Sam sleeps on the living room couch. Later at work, Palmer visits the computer lab to research local guardianship laws. After school, Sam asks to go to a tea party at his friend's house. Palmer seizes the opportunity to spend some time alone with Maggie. Their moment is soon interrupted by a tearful Sam, who rushes into the house covered in lipstick. Palmer assumes that boy was being bullied again by his classmates and advises him to fight back next time. Reluctantly, Sam admits that he was offended not by his classmates, but by father of one of them, who is Eddie's old friend.
Hey, Eddie? Eddie, don't do...
Palmer arrives at the bar, finds his friend, and beats him up. Approaching the other, who is a policeman, he threatens to reveal their secret if he writes a report against him. Back home, Maggie scolds our character for his actions, telling him that Sam kept calling for him until he fell asleep. The next morning, Palmer tries to lift Sam's spirits. He starts calling him son and suggests they apply to join the Penelope's Princess Club. Together, they work on Sam's admission speech. At that moment, Shelley shows up, ordering her son to pack his things and takes him back to the trailer. One day, Palmer sees police officers near his property. The authorities have taken Sam into foster care and filed for Shelley to lose her parental rights. Learning this, our character goes to Child Protective Services, hoping to apply for temporary guardianship. The caseworker, upon hearing about Palmer's criminal record, assures him that the judge will likely reject his request. That evening, a worried Palmer visits Shelley. He urges her to sign the papers voluntarily and transfer custody of Sam to him. But Shelley is confident the authorities will return her son, allowing them to move and start a new life together.
Get out of my house!
The day of the court hearing arrives. Palmer, accompanied by Maggie, attends the session. With tears in his eyes, he shares his story and pleads for custody of Sam, but the judge cannot grant this. She advises him to reapply after his parole ends. Shelley has temporarily stayed clean, so Sam is returned to her. Palmer watches from his window as they move out, and he begins preparing his home for his own departure. Stepping outside, he hears shouting and screaming. Entering the trailer, he breaks up a fight.
You just made Jerry fly!
Seeing the situation, our character takes Sam and drives out of town with him. At a gas station, he tells Maggie everything. She urges him to return the boy quickly, otherwise he may have big problems with the law. When they arrive home, the police are already there. Shelley has reported Sam as kidnapped. Eddie's friend informs him that Shelley is currently unstable, so he'll take Sam to Miss Maggie's place. He also expresses regret over the situation. Palmer pleads with him not to send the boy back to foster care.
Go to your mama, Sam.
Later, when our character is in a cell, he gets a visit from a friend. Coles makes it look like Shelley asked Palmer to take her son to the shop, but forgot because she was high.
How'd you want? Yeah, you did.
In the next scene, Eddie and Sam are working on a puzzle together. There's a knock at the door, and Shelley appears. She's realized she's unfit to raise her son and has decided to grant custody to Palmer. Sam agrees with this decision, then approaches and hugs his mother. At the end of the movie, our characters collect their last belongings from the sold house. In the mailbox, Palmer finds a letter addressed to Sam. He has become the first boy accepted into Penelope's Princess Club. Thank you for watching until the end. On this channel, you'll always find recaps of good movies.